Joseph Stalin, born in 1878 in Georgia, rose from a revolutionary activist to the absolute leader of the Soviet Union. By the time World War II began, he had already transformed the USSR through rapid industrialization and brutal political purges, consolidating total control over the state. When the war approached in 1939, Stalin shocked the world by signing the Nazi-Soviet Non-Aggression Pact with Adolf Hitler. This agreement allowed Germany to invade Poland without fear of Soviet intervention and secretly divided Eastern Europe into spheres of influence. But the uneasy peace didn't last. In June 1941, Hitler launched Operation Barbarossa, a massive invasion of the Soviet Union. Stalin was initially stunned and unprepared, partly because his earlier purges had eliminated many of his best military officers. Despite this disastrous start, he quickly reorganized the Soviet war effort and took direct command of the armed forces in the front. Stalin's leadership during the war was harsh and uncompromising. He enforced strict discipline, orders factories to relocate eastward beyond Germans' reach, and pushed for total mobilization of a Soviet society. His strategy relied on overwhelming manpower, industrial output, and a willingness to absorb enormous losses. The turning point came at the Battle of Stalingrad in 1942 to 1943. Stalin refused to evacuate the city named after him, insisting it be defended at all costs. The Soviet victory there marked the beginnings of Germany's retreat in the winter and transformed Stalin into one of the most powerful Allied leaders. Throughout the war, Stalin met with Winston Churchill and Franklin D. Roosevelt at major conferences such as Tehran and Yalta in 1943 and 1945, where the big three, Churchill in the big three was Stalin, Churchill, and Franklin D. Roosevelt. They planned military strategy and shaped the post-war world. These meetings solidified Stalin's role as a central figure in the Allied victory and laid the groundwork for Soviet influence in Eastern Europe. By 1945, the Soviet Union had suffered more casualties than any other nation, but it emerged as a global superpower. Stalin's leadership, marked by determination, brutality, and strategic calculation, was instrumental in defeating Nazi Germany, but it also set the stage for the Cold War and decades of Soviet dominance in Eastern Europe.